What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Sage, and today we are going back to the OG What If Sasuke Died Part 8. The like goal for this video is going to be 20 likes, so if you guys want to see a Part 9 to this series, make sure you guys help get this video to 20 likes. And without further ado, you guys know, let's get into it.
Creeping on the come up with a 211 on my mind, persuaded by the devil, gripping on my black plastic now, searching for a lick that I can hit with murder in my soul, swinging bending corners in the 67 Elko.
Now it's been a minute, so let me give you guys a quick refresher. Tsunade is now the Hokage. Itachi has left the Akatsuki. Naruto, Jiraiya, and Tsunade kinda smacked Orochimaru and Kabuto around, specifically Kabuto, because Naruto just bodied that kid. Kisame, with the help of Zetsu, eventually escapes the Hidden Leaf Village after being captured, after being put under Tsukuyomi by Itachi. And he eventually escapes the Hidden Leaf Village with the help of Zetsu. They eventually inform the Akatsuki of Itachi's betrayal, and they're all pretty pissed. Specifically Deidara, because, that hate between Deidara and Itachi only grows. So I'm setting up that rivalry. So we're going to pick off from right there. So, as I mentioned in the last video, we're going to kind of just jump into this time skip. There's no real Sasuke retrieval arc, because Sasuke's dead. So we kind of have to just skip over everything and go straight to the time skip. So that's where we're going to pick up. So Naruto actually ends up staying in the village with Jiraiya so they can get stronger and learn, new techniques with Jiraiya, just like he did in the original series. And he wants to develop his Sharingan with Kakashi. So instead of leaving the Hidden Leaf Village, he ends up staying so that he can, 1, learn new techniques with Jiraiya, and 2, develop his Sharingan with Kakashi. He gets the best of both worlds. So he kind of decides, hey, I should just stay here. It's easier. Now, the original reason he left is because, 1, he wanted to help get back Sasuke, and 2, he wanted to, prepare himself for the Akatsuki when they come. But since there's no Sasuke to retrieve, now he's kind of just like, hey, might as well stay here since I have the Sharingan. Kakashi has the Sharingan. Might as well just stay here and, hone my skills so I can get real dope and cool and all that. So he decides to stay. And Jiraiya's like, well, if he's staying, I have to stay. So they all kind of just stay in the village and everything's cool. So during this time period, Team Kakashi actually ends up staying together, of course, and hones their teamwork abilities. So they go on several missions. They all get stronger. You have to remember the time skip is like 2.5 years, almost 3 years. So they kind of just stay together, hone their teamwork skills and abilities, and they kind of just, get stronger together. Their teamwork is pretty great. And, they just completed a bunch of missions. A rank, B rank, C rank, all those missions. So Sakura still trains with Tsunade to become stronger as well. So Sakura still becomes Tsunade's, little helper. So they both kind of get stronger. Both Sakura and Naruto get stronger. As I mentioned, Naruto is training under both Kakashi and Jiraiya. Meanwhile, Sakura is training under Tsunade. You also have to remember that Sakura did train under Kakashi a bit in the original, part 1 of this series. So she does know the Chidori still. She still knows some of the abilities that Sasuke knew. But Sakura is a lot stronger in the series. She's not useless anymore. She actually has a purpose in this series. So she's actually a lot stronger, faster. She has better taijutsu, ninjutsu, all that. She's a lot stronger. And like I said, the main thing is she specifically knows the Chidori instead of Sasuke now. So that's pretty cool. She's a lot stronger. Combine that with the skills and abilities she learns with Tsunade, she's actually becoming pretty dope. Sakura, it's kind of crazy how good she's getting. So, during the time skip, Naruto becomes a Jonin, actually. So, instead of, staying a Genin because he never took the Chunin exams, he does take the Chunin exams during this time period and actually becomes a Jonin, just like Neji, Kankuro, and Tamari. And Sakura becomes a Chunin. She's really good, not gonna lie. But she still hasn't taken the test to become a Jonin. So, she's still a Chunin, but that's okay. And Naruto, like I said, is a Jonin. And Gaara still becomes Kazekage because, Naruto staying doesn't really have an influence on that. So Gaara is the Kazekage, Naruto's a Jonin, and Sakura is a Chunin, and everybody else ranks stay the same. Neji's still a Jonin, everybody else is still Chunin. So, after one of their missions, Kakashi tells Naruto and Sakura to prepare to meet him the next day at the training field the next morning, and to come prepared. So basically, they get home from a mission, and Naruto and Sakura are like, hey, that was a pretty dope mission, we did it pretty fast, yeah, we're not even tired. And Kakashi's like, hey guys, And let's get serious for a second. I want you guys to meet me, at the training field tomorrow morning, bright and early, and come prepared, because I'm going to be testing you guys. And they kind of just look at each other confused, like, what the heck, is Kakashi okay? He seems kind of loopy. So, they're kind of confused. Kakashi is just giving them a weird look. He's smiling, the signature Kakashi wave. He's kind of just, smiling. You can't really see his smile, though, because he has a mask on. So he's kind of just, you can tell by his eyes. Just look at his eyes. You can tell. You know what I mean. Yeah, he's smiling. That's all you need to know. Kakashi's smiling, and Naruto and Sakura are kind of confused, and they give each other a worried look because they don't know what's going on. But they eventually agree. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll meet you here tomorrow morning. Training field, we'll be there. Don't worry, I got you. And so they look at each other, they high five, and they kind of just leave. And Kakashi's like, okay. He kind of laughs at him, laughs to himself. And he walks away reading his book. So the next morning, they are actually forced to take the bell test. So yes, just like in Shippuden, in the first arc, they have to retake the bell test again. Kakashi wants to test their abilities and see how far they've come since that original Part 1 series, from 2 years. So this is Kakashi's way of testing them to see how far they've come. So much like Shippuden, the bell test still is going down, but we're gonna get more in depth into it. So, like I said, the next morning they're forced to retake the bell test. So, using his Sharingan and Taijutsu, Naruto is easily able to keep up with Kakashi. So, like I said, Naruto's kind of been training Kakashi and Jiraiya over the past 2.5 years. So, his Taijutsu and speed is kind of just insane. And his Sharingan, his use of the Sharingan is really impressive now at this point. Like I said, it's been 2.5 years, and he's able to work with Kakashi. Now, Kakashi's not an Uchiha, but he still has, pretty good use over the Sharingan. So, Naruto, he's been learning from Kakashi, and he's become a pretty awesome, Sharingan user himself. So, using his Sharingan and his Taijutsu, he's able to keep up with Kakashi. This is also due to the fact that they've changed several times together before. So Kakashi's actually used these moves on Naruto before. Naruto's not really surprised by anything that Kakashi's pulling out. So he's like, I got you, Kakashi. You can't beat me. And then out of nowhere, Kakashi grabs a kunai from his pocket, whips it out, and trips Naruto and stabs him in the chest. So yep, Kakashi just whips out a kunai, trips Naruto. Naruto slowly falls to the ground, and as he's falling, Kakashi just stabs him in the chest when he hits the ground. So, this is kind of weird, Kakashi just stabbed Naruto. Instead of freaking out and like, oh my gosh, I just stabbed Naruto, he kind of just smiles. And Kakashi, he's standing there. He has the kunai shoved in Naruto's chest. Naruto's on the ground. Kakashi's just smiling. And then Naruto disappears because it was a shadow clone, obviously. Why would Kakashi stab Naruto? Y'all really thought I was going to make Naruto die? Imagine if I killed off Naruto? That would have been hilarious. But anyways, it was just a shadow clone. Haha, kind of saw that coming. So he destroys the shadow clone as Kakashi smiles to himself. Then Naruto rushes from behind with a Rasengan. So this man's running at him full speed, Rasengan, but Kakashi jumps into the air to avoid it. So he's able to avoid the Rasengan. He's able to use his Sharingan and see it coming. So he jumps into the air to avoid it. But because it's in the air, Sakura jumps from a tree and pulls her arm back to punch Kakashi. So Kakashi jumps in the air. He's like, I was able to avoid the Rasengan. That was a close one. Then he turns his head and looks, and Sakura's falling out of a tree like a monkey, and she's pulling her fist back, about to punch him in his chest. You have to remember, this Sakura is a lot stronger than Part 1 Sakura. So she's full on, pulling her fist back to punch Kakashi in his chest, which could easily kill him. And he's like, oh crap, I'm in the air. I can't really do anything. I'm freaking out. I can't dodge it. So Sakura jumps from a tree and pulls back her arm to punch Kakashi in the chest. Kakashi throws up his arms to block because he can't really do anything, He's in the air, he can't dodge it, he can use ninjutsu, but he doesn't want to hurt Sakura. So he's like, oh crap, don't kill me. So he throws his arms up in the air, but instead of going to punch him in the chest, Sakura actually reaches for the bells on Kakashi's belt. So Kakashi's like, no, please don't hit me. And she's kind of just like, okay, why are you throwing your arms up? So she just reaches for the bell, but as she's reaching for them, Kakashi Sharingan is able to, notice and be like, oh, you're not actually going to hit me. So he kind of just pushes her hand to redirect it to the ground. So much like, what Rock Lee did to Naruto in part 1 when he rushed him. So Sakura kind of just reaches for him, and Kakashi kind of just slowly moves her hand to the side. It's very quickly, obviously, but slow motion if you guys want to see it like that. But she reaches for it, and he just pushes her arm to the side, which redirects her into the ground. And as she's about to hit the ground, she closes her hand into the fist to brace for impact. And Sakura leaves a huge chasm in the ground because, we just want to show that she's super overpowered now and super strong. So she kind of just goes flying into the ground, leaving a giant chasm and crater in the ground. But as Kakashi lands, he's like, ha, I bested you, Sakura. He turns around to see Naruto, who catches him in a genjutsu. So he's like, I got you, Sakura. Wait, where's Naruto? Then he turns around and looks, and Naruto's like, gotcha. And so Kakashi looks him in his eyes and gets caught in a genjutsu, which really just shows how powerful Naruto's Sharingan is now that he's able to catch Kakashi in a genjutsu, much like Itachi did in part 1. So he catches Kakashi in a genjutsu, and in the genjutsu, Kakashi is chained to a tree, oh no, and thousands of Naruto shadow clones begin to spoil the end of Jiraiya's book. So in the genjutsu, basically Kakashi's tied to a tree, like I said, and he's looking around, he's like, what? This is weird. And then a bunch of shadow clones appear, and he's like, oh no, they're about to beat the crap out of me, I'm gonna die. And then they, at the same time, like literally all the shadow clones just start talking at the same time and start to spoil the end of Jiraiya's book. And Kakashi obviously starts freaking out. He's like, no, don't spoil the end of the book, please. This can't happen. So he closes his eyes and starts shaking his head so that, he can't hear him. So it like warps the sound. He's like, no, please, don't do this. And so he's closing his eyes and he's freaking out and screaming. And then he opens his eyes. So he has his eyes closed, he's shaking his head, screaming, and then he opens his eyes, but when he opens them, all the shadow clones are gone, and Naruto and Sakura are kind of just standing in front of him, and they're holding the bells. So yes, they're able to successfully pass the bell test with ease, pretty much. So with the help of Naruto's Sharingan, it made it pretty easy. Once they caught Kakashi in the genjutsu after distracting him, it was pretty much smooth sailing from there. You have to remember that Naruto's a Jonin now, and Sakura is a Chunin, so they kind of know what they're doing. And Sakura is no slouch either. She's borderline Jonin level. Like, she has the Chidori and the skills of Tsunade. Like, she can easily become a Jonin. She just needs to take her test or whatever. So basically you have a Jonin and a borderline Jonin versus, one of the strongest Jonin in the village, of course, but they they didn't wash him, but they defeat him with more ease than they did in the original series. Because again, you have to remember, in the original series, it was just a Jiraiya trained Naruto who pulled up to the village after 2.5 years. He hasn't seen Kakashi or Sakura in a while. They don't have teamwork. In this version that I've made, Naruto stayed in the village. He trained with Kakashi and Jiraiya. And also, he's been training with Sakura for 2.5 years now? And with Kakashi, like I said, Team 7's been together, / Team Kakashi. So they've kind of just been trained together for 2.5 years, so they know what they're doing. Naruto is a lot more skilled, and so is Sakura. So you have to keep that in mind. So they successfully passed the bell test, and they both have the bells, and they're super happy, and they both hug and all that. But then they both begin to cry as they remember the first time they took the bell test with Sasuke. So they both start to cry. They get a flashback. They're both real sad about it. They start to cry, and they kind of break down just thinking about Sasuke, which is really touching, just to think about, how strong they've come or how strong they've gotten, how far they've come since the death of Sasuke. It's a real sentimental moment, and Kakashi kind of just leaves them to cry. And that's where we're going to actually leave it off for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As I mentioned in the intro, if this video gets to 20 likes, I'll be sure to drop a part 9 soon. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Again, if you guys get this video to 20 likes, then I will make a part 9. Thank you again so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you're not subscribed already and enjoy watching my videos, please subscribe. And if this is the first video you've watched, then what the heck are you doing on part 8 of What If Sasuke Died? You should be at part 1. And then you can subscribe if you think that one's good. because that one was really good. And again, for the last time, thank you guys so much for liking the video. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school, winter one hell of a kid. I am smoking gas, jogging mid. I'm lit. What you doing? I done did. I swear. Slick talker since a jet. Finesse. I know that this what they want. Facts. Run up some money, I'm gone. I'm